Okay, since you brought up Tom Brady, speaking of rules, he's speaking yet again on the number rule. Remember when this came out that players could wear any number at the corner position or linebacker position or any position, basically. You're allowed to wear any number. There used to be rules, defensive line, 90s, normally 40, 50s at linebacker, then in the teens or 20s at DB or 30 or 40s. There's always been numbers that basically go with each position. It's how football has basically been set up forever. That has changed, obviously, through high school. Whenever you have an incredible, talented skill player who maybe gains some weight, gets bigger, goes down the defensive line or linebacker, but still wants to keep the number 1 that he ran 2,000 yards with at running back, whatever he was in junior high or high school. Mm-hmm. Now he's a little bit bigger and he's tackling the quarterback. That one still looked clean, though. So now they're able to do that in the NFL. Tom Brady came out very against this. He was asked yet again, this morning, I believe, about the numbers thing with the Dallas Cowboys. This is what he had to say about it.
30 minutes probably isn't that much, but anyway, I don't want to get into it. I've already talked ad nauseum about it. I think it's a stupid rule, just to put it out there one more time.
Just to clear this whole thing up, it is a stupid rule, okay? Tom Brady came out because he said that part of the game is deciphering who's who. You see it a lot with the offensive linemen where they're pointing out the mic, the quarterback's pointing out maybe the pressure, the blitz. And whenever I would never know this because my plays were good against any defense.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I could audible to a different side if I saw a little heavy over here.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, it seems like there's a little bit more meat over here. Let's go this way. I'll go ahead and give this thing an apple. All right, or whatever the particular call was. But he's saying, quarterbacks, this is going to make the game worse. This is going to make the game worse because the part of the entire game is dissecting and deciphering who's doing what from what position. He thinks that it's going to make the game worse. He's not happy about it, still not happy about it. He said this is the 20th time he said this is a stupid rule. I guess we have to see how this unfolds if it actually matters. It's interesting, though, seeing somebody that is normally wearing a different... It's all these young guys.
Yeah.
It's all the rookies, too. So I often wonder how the vets feel about some of these rookies swagging out in, like, these single-digit numbers, and the vets weren't allowed to do it because they would have had to pay back all of the money that was already spent on the jerseys and their numbers. So they're basically told you can't... Dalvin Cook was basically told, like, you're going to have to pay like $2 million if you want to change your number. But all these rookies come in and they're swagging out in their young numbers or whatever. It's hard watching these preseason games going like, I don't know if that guy deserves
a little weird.
that number over that guy. But it should be a fun year, especially if Tom Brady's pissed off and still continuing to talk about shit he doesn't like.
Did you see the entire, I believe, Niners secondaries going 1, 2, 3, 4 as their numbers?
So maybe that makes it easier.
Well, I'm like, if you see this and you're a D coordinator, aren't you putting every single player on your defense in a weird number that's not used to where their position is
And
now?
can you change number middle of the week now because you have to pay for all the jerseys?
Yeah. A lot of number changes came yesterday since the preseason was done. So
imagine every team playing Tom Brady, though. Their entire defense changes their numbers the week of. Jerry Jones is like, fucking change all of them. I'll pay for them.
Don't care.
No, I do not care. 200, fuck it. Yeah, are we beating Tom Brady or not on opening night? By the way, open night, this thing is treated just as hyped as the Super Bowl.
For sure.
Absolutely. Won't get as many viewers as the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl becomes the global sensation, obviously. But the amount of marketing and press that we've given this Thursday night, everybody's given Thursday night, it's been a countdown.
Aaron, Tom Brady earlier in the season and now today was complaining about the defense at any position being able to wear any number basically that they want. And Tom said, no, he didn't actually say this, but Tom basically said, I don't know who's the mic anymore.
No, that's not what he said. That's not what Tom was saying.
Is that an issue that all quarterbacks around the league are thinking about or just Tom?
I'm not going to leave Tom out to dry with this one. I think it is interesting to see the number changes. It's been obviously easier to figure out specific players and their roles. But I think this will be just a week one thing where you have different guys wearing maybe single-digit numbers who are defensive players and figuring out what exactly their role is. Are they a dime safety or are they a nickel or, are they going to be a in-the-box player or an out-of-the-box player? As we get into the season, this will kind of all shake itself out. I do think it is interesting that they allow for self-expression now more through your number, but not with this bizarre tightening around whatever taunting is. You saw it a few years ago with the celebration crackdown. The No Fun League kind of reared its head. Now you've seen a lot more celebrations and full team celebrations after turnovers or touchdowns, and I think the fans and the players definitely like that. The taunting thing, I think it'll be interesting to see how it's refereed. I don't believe it's an objective call. There's a lot of subjectivity in this, and I don't think it should be reffed objectively.